Today, it's process to progress. And a lot of people now think my name is Shireen, which it isn't. When I walk into that room, it's like, oh, I need to sing. Okay, I can do that. Read the play. A lot of people get so much work just through Instagram. Can you actually do your own native accent? I don't feel like acting can be taught. Leave the room, just throw the sides away and don't think about it again. Being versatile, is it a good thing? You know, you say your name so often that you might just throw it away. My name's Shireenah Ingram. Don't have a middle name. That's quite unique. Again, probably helps me stand out, maybe from other people, who knows. My playing age, so it used to be, obviously it used to be much younger because I'm getting older. Now it is, I think, 25 to 33, my agent said. My archetype, the roles that I'll play will be like leading characters. This is what I've been told, picked from my auditions or workshops that I've done. People have said you've got like a strong presence, which is quite what a leading kind of character would play. And usually like the boss type, someone in charge, authoritative, and I'm quite tall as well. My base as well, so I'm actually, you might hear the accent from Birmingham originally. Though I think I've lost my accent a little bit. A lot of people when I go back to Birmingham say, oh, you sound quite, you know, London now. And then when I'm in London, people say, oh, I can hear the twang of Birmingham. So I ask a lot of actors, can you actually do your own native accent well? Because, you know, someone might say to you, all right, do a Brummie accent. And it's like, I might actually go really black country because I think, oh, I need to exaggerate it, when actually my Brummie accent is what it is. People just have references to things. So you say Birmingham and I think people like Lenny Henry come into your head, and then, you know, he's actually from the black country. So that's Dudley, where the accent's very, very strong. Birmingham's not as strong. But I do feel like my accent's kind of mishmashed. My preferred field would be like film and TV. I'd love to just be in a nice drama, gritty drama series or a film. And I think that's just because I feel like with a film, well, with film and TV, it's everlasting. Once you've recorded it, it's out there forever. With a theatre production, even though it's great to do live things, it does keep you on your toes. It's very, like, each night, it's very daunting because you're having to, what's the word? You're literally on stage, reliving it every night. I bought my own ice skates when I was younger. And I think a job came up that needed an ice skate. And I was like, oh, I've actually got my own skates. And it felt nice to be able to say one of my skills I could actually put to use. So again, things that you might see as random, sometimes they're not random because that's exactly what this job requires. Headshots, again, making sure they're high resolution, quality, similar to like if you're doing a self-tape, just making sure there's no clutter in the background. If you have got a nice backdrop, you know, just get it positioned well. Obviously try and get a professional photographer if you can, but I know times are hard. But just know that that's what's going to get you that job. That's what's going to be sitting on the casting director's desk. So that needs to look good. Show you a bit of my CV as well, because I have my Spotlight one, but then if I need to print one off, I've got one that I've made myself, just to show the difference between like actor CV or presenter CV or entertainer CV compared to like your working one for hospitality jobs or other fields that you might have worked in. I say hospitality because a lot of actors obviously work in waitressing or something like that because it can be flexible. You have to treat yourself like a brand, which is what we all are because we're self-employed. And I try and stress to people that I guess I meet younger people or people that aren't in the industry and say, you know, I'm a business, so everything I do is selling myself, or not selling myself like that. Don't get it the wrong way around. But I'm selling myself as a product basically. And you know, I've spoken with friends sometimes that have said on a commercial shoot, you can often feel like a product because often it's all this fuss is going on around you. They're trying to set the lighting or get the mics in place or the set around you, and often you're just the product that's in the middle. And you've usually been cast because you look a certain way, or you're the right height, or you're the right skin complexion, or whatever it is. You know, it's usually something really small. You know, it is based on talent a lot of the time, but I think majority of it will come down to the look. And with any kind of product, whatever you say buying in the shops, it has to be branded and marketed well. So it's really important to market yourself well. And a few things that I thought were quite important was just to have USPs. And if you know you can do something really well, whether it's juggling or singing or I don't know, whatever it is, just really sell that and market it well. Now you'll probably see from my like YouTube channel and links and clips is that, you know, I've given myself a name, which for me is a brand now. I want it to be associated with me. So ShireenACT is me. It's just a play on my name and the fact that I act. So ShireenACT. But annoyingly, which is probably a marketing error, a lot of people now think my name is Shireen, which isn't. And my name's important to me. I love my name. I feel like it's quite unique. So that maybe is a mistake that I've made, kind of the way I've done the logo, which again, I made myself. You know, times are hard. You can't always afford to get the best of things. So I had to kind of just create something that I thought might look a bit more professional, but actually looking back now, it might be a bit of a hindrance in terms of me getting my actual name out there. So again, these are things to consider, but I just feel like it looks stronger when you've got a brand and you've got a clear kind of direction, because people will look at you and think, oh, I'll take her seriously. You know, when it comes to my business cards, I want to be able to have that logo on there so that they know I'm a brand. I'm something more than, say, just me, even though being just me is enough. When I'm just on paper or just on the screen, you won't be able to necessarily feel or see all of what I am. So I want to be able to make an impact, even if it's just on a business card or I don't know, a picture of me on the screen or something. You know, that logo being there might just be like, oh, something a bit different about her. You know, she's got a logo. I don't know. But yeah, so I thought that was something different and interesting to try. But yeah, I think like most celebrities or people we may follow, they have fans and they follow them for a reason, whether it's their ethics or principles. And I think it's just important to know who you are. And in this industry, I think you can get so lost and wrapped up in many things, and you just need to stay grounded. I mean, I'm quite spiritual and I meditate most mornings just to start my day off in that grounded state, which has been so helpful for me. And I think if you start your day right or start your week right, you know, you can just flourish. And I think it's so important to just have that kind of grounding into who you are so that your career can then flourish as well, which is really important. Yeah, so business cards, maybe a website. I don't know. I've been told you don't necessarily need one. I don't think I ended up getting one because I didn't have a lot of content to put on there, and I didn't want to necessarily just invest money into something that I wouldn't necessarily then be able to utilise or use. So yeah, that's why I haven't got a website. But I've used websites like Star Now, Casting Call Pro, it's now called Mandy, and Spotlight. These are platforms where you apply for castings yourself, or can post castings yourself if you're looking for work to get artists. And that for me is perfect. They've already made the website. I've now got a profile on there that I can promote separately. Spotlight's obviously great because you get your Spotlight link as well, which takes you to your virtual CV, which is just perfect. And places like Star Now and Mandy are just really good platforms for that, and all of them have their own little unique things that you can do a bit differently on each of them. And it is time consuming having to put all your credits in and accents and skills and all that, but it's worth it because you're then in different places. You could then have different links to these things. But again, I'm not knocking a website. Just like having a logo or business cards, it does make you, again, look that bit more professional, that you've got something of your own. So again, if you can afford it and got content to put on there, then why not? But it's the same like with social media, isn't it? I guess you can put as much as you want on your Instagram page. A lot of people get so much work just through Instagram. I think, yeah, I've definitely tried to push and use my Instagram a lot more recently, because I just think you've got to be out there, you've got to be active and showing that you're active. I had a friend that did an audition, and I think he left his something in the room anyway. He had to go back and get it, and then when he went in to get it, they were looking on his Instagram, and he was like, "Oh, that's my Instagram," and they're like, "Yeah, we're just checking you out." So it is important to have a following, have those fans. And I think that's going to come from you just being true to who you are and building up that following, because you've held on to something that's true to you, and others will, I think, follow that if they believe in it because you do. I think that's how it works anyway, and I think that's kind of what's been working for me. So let's see, watch this space. I often debate about being versatile. Is it a good thing? Because like I was saying earlier, you need to do things well, and if you know you can do things really well, then focus on that. There's no point saying, yeah, I can do all these things, these fantastic things, and not really have a niche then, because you kind of do want to fit into a box, but not at the same time. I think if you know you can do things very well, it's just, I don't know. It's something, I'd be interested to talk to a few others, you know, about it. But I often ask the question, is it good to be versatile or not? To be or not to be, I don't know. But yeah, I definitely, for me anyway, I've just focused on what I can do well, and that seems to be working at the moment, and I'm getting more work. I think that's just because I know what I can do well. So when I walk into that room, it's like, oh, I need to sing. Okay, I can do that, and I'll do it, instead of walking into the room like, oh, what, you need me to do a headstand? I can't do that, you know? So it's like just being more clear to yourself that these are my capabilities, and then you can push and do them very, very well. Research is a big one. My acting teacher would always say, read the play. So it's just always stuck to me like, yeah, you need to actually read it again and again and again. Because just like when you watch film over and over again, you pick up new things, you see something different. It's like, oh, that's what that means. I was doing a show, and when we got into the actual run was when something clicked. I was like, oh my gosh, didn't even know that that's what that line meant. And again, you have these new discoveries every day. Dissect and attack the text. Always ask it, why am I doing this? You know, who am I talking to? Why are we here? You know, why do I think this about that character? The more you kind of attack it like that, the more you'll form your own opinion. And I think that's what acting is, and that's what life is like. You have an opinion of something, and that then dictates why you do what you do. Why this character does what they do is because of what the script will tell you. All the answers are there. That's why it should be easy. We make it harder for ourselves, thinking we need this elaborate, you know, backstory. We can do all that once we've got the answers from the text, which is right in front of us. So if you're not a big reader, you know, sadly it's a big part of the job. So yeah, just read more and more, and it'll become more easy. Like, I read quite slow, but I think the more I do it, I can pick things up a bit quicker, and a part of that makes me think, oh, if I've got to read it over and over again, and I'm quite slow at reading, it's going to take me forever. But it's just training. Sorry, it's just training yourself, and finding that, getting into a routine. Maybe you just do it before bed, or when you wake up in the mornings, on the train. Just finding that time and making the time as well, because it's important. And another thing I learned back in college was to just throw it all away. So even though you've done all that work on the character, you don't want to be then in the scene thinking like, oh right, this is when that line's coming, and obviously I hate this character, so I'm going to deliver it like this. You don't want to be thinking all of that in the moment. You want to just throw it all away, what you've learned. You know it now, you've absorbed it. Be in that moment, let it come out raw, because that's what this character's thinking and feeling right now in this moment.
You are too close-minded. If you were just to open up a little, just a crack, you might find out so much more about yourself. Find out what it truly means to be
Places
happy.
I kind of trained at were Salon Collective, so they do a lot of Meisner work, and that really works for me. It's just about like truthful, honest acting. Well, being in the moment as well, so responding to something that's actually happening to you, not premeditating it, because you don't have time to in real life, so why would you? Which also kind of ties in with this other training I was doing, which is through the Real Life Actor. There's loads of podcasts. The podcasts alone, that just blew my mind. But I was lucky enough to have some Skype sessions with him. He's hoping to come to London soon. If not, I am going to America next year, so I'm hoping to jump on one of his classes there as well in LA, which would just be fantastic to kind of experience it firsthand. But yeah, that's, again, it's just about truthful acting, because for me it's important to be truthful and honest, just like you would be in real life. That's, I think, the biggest lesson I've learned this year about my acting training, is that do what Shireenah would do in that situation, because then that's truthful and honest to you. Oh, sorry, that just really resonates with me. I trained at Identity. They opened a school in Birmingham in 2011, and I did a year then, and oh my gosh, that was the first kind of quality training I'd ever had, and I just felt like, oh my gosh, if I ever get a chance to work with them again, I will. So when I came to London, I did. But I think the school had just grown so much by then that I just felt a bit like the quality wasn't there. It just felt a bit like en masse, and I didn't get as much out of it, sadly. But it was good to just kind of dip back into that, do a bit of the Salon Collective Meisner stuff, get these Skype sessions as well with Jeff from the Real Life Actor, and really just make up my own way of acting. And I didn't go to drama school, so for me, I always have told myself, I saw it as a sign. I did audition for drama school, got a few recalls again, which is quite rare, so I was proud of that. But I told myself that it's a sign to say maybe go it alone, find your own path. You don't necessarily need to go to drama school, because I almost feel like drama school just, well, each individual drama school potentially just, they mould you into what they think an actor should be. And I don't know, I mean, I used to love school, but with drama school, I just don't feel like acting can be taught. I just feel like it's a way of life. Acting almost isn't acting, it's you knowing your lines and delivering them as if you were gonna say them anyway. So yeah, I don't know, it's a weird one. But I would say treat yourself like an athlete. You're not gonna just get up tomorrow and run a marathon. You'd have to train. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and you know, class is really helpful for that, and you get to bounce off other people and talk to other people as well. It's just, yeah, don't make yourself even feel more alone, because it can be a lonely industry, and you know, you want to just surround yourself with as many kind of like-minded individuals. Another place great for like networking and training is like Surviving Actors. They run they might do more now. I think they do like masterclasses throughout the year, but they do like an annual big one as well. Eventbrite has a few different gigs on. That's how I first heard about the Salon Collective classes actually. There's City Lit as well. My friend's doing so many courses there at the moment. She can't get enough. So I think I might have to look into them as well. And there's meetups as well. I think they arrange different events for collaboration. I know some people might be in cities where they don't feel like there's a lot going on. But if that's the case, you know, start your own little drama club or book script reading club, something like that, you know, just make the work for yourself. I think that's what a lot of people are doing right now. I think that's the way forward, because if the work ain't coming to you, you got to make it for yourself. And I think, again, being self-employed, you are your own business. You've got to generate that work for yourself. And I think you'll feel much better if you're doing something that feels like work instead of just sitting around waiting for the phone to ring. Breathe, yeah, because, you know, I think we get so tense. I don't know if anyone else does this, but half the time, okay, it's a bit exaggeration, half the time I'm sitting at my desk or something and I'm like, what the hell, my shoulders like could go down. Like, we naturally, I think, just hold a lot of tension in our bodies. So like yoga and things like that are really good for just, you know, loosening up and really knowing that I've got tension there. Why am I holding that there? It's just crazy, like the things that you have to do in audition sometimes, and they're so quick. Like I watched something once that said, after you've done your scene, leave the room, just throw the sides away and don't think about it again, because there's no point rethinking, oh, what could I have done differently, or I should have said that. No, you have to just kind of go in. If it is a cold read, say, just skim it as quick as you can and do it as best you can, you know, just kind of make a decision and make a choice and go with it. Obviously being on time, don't get there too early as well, because that's just annoying. They might not be even set up yet and you're the kind of hanging around. Not having loads of baggage, they don't want to see Tesco shopping or anything like that. Walking into the room, just kind of go in as you, ready, do all your preparation out the room as much as you can. I know people say like go and warm up in the toilets and things like that, and it's a bit embarrassing if there's other people there, but try your best to just get into a zone, get into a place, even if you need to just meditate or whatever it is. I'll usually kind of go in, take a few breaths, kind of scan the room and see who's there, and because I think with me, other people's energy rubs off on me, so I have to kind of just be at one, get myself into a place, and then if someone does want to talk to me, or, you know, because I think even the people that seem confident because they're really chatty, that's probably just their way of dealing with nerves, and I don't want them to be then talking to me and then I'm not in the zone ready for when I need to go in. So it's about knowing that actually, no, I need to focus right now, so excuse me, can I just you know, have this moment to myself. With self-tapes as well, just making sure like the framing is good, lighting's good, there's no clutter in the background that's going to be distracting. Sometimes they'll ask you to look at down the lens, sometimes they'll ask you to look off. Again, you just don't want to be messing them around, because they're going to watch how many videos, and if you've just done a basic thing wrong, you know, that's just another reason for them to think, oh, I'm not going to hire her because she hasn't been able to follow a simple instruction. And also don't take time doing loads of preparation on camera, you know, do all that beforehand, so as soon as that camera comes on, your name's there and done. and get into the habit of, you know, idents and things like that, having that information to hand, being able to speak clearly as well, things like that. You know, you say your name so often that you might just throw it away. Yeah, I'm Shireenah Ingram. Shireenah Ingram, you know, say it clear. I want you to remember my name when I leave this room. So it's little things like them as well. Gotta always be thinking like, how am I going to stand out from this person next to me? It's just so much fun to be an actor. And like I said, this month alone, I did currently still doing 4 different gigs. One was a schools tour, one's a pantomime, the other one was like a selection of short comedy plays, and then the last one, which I'm doing next week, is a soap filming, you know, for a TV soap. I'm just really happy, and this feeling, I want it to continue. I know in life things go up and down, life's a roller coaster, so I'm on a high at the moment. I know a low point's coming, but I just want to embrace this feeling, enjoy it, and you know, if it all dies down within a few weeks, it's fine, but it will go back up again, because it always does. Hopefully what I've mentioned today helps you on your process to progress, because we're all on our way up.